Courtroom security pushes. Joker back, and what he does next makes the whole courtroom go silent. They say a courtroom is the safest place in the city, a place where truth sits higher than power. But on that cold morning, when the Joker was dragged inside with steel cuffs and a quiet smile, every soul in the room felt something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The judge's hammer hadn't even touched the wood when security shoved him back, forcing him toward the wall, trying to cage a man who had already broken every cage life ever built for him. And yet, he didn't resist. He only whispered, almost gently, "You should have pushed harder, because after today, nothing in this courtroom will ever be the same." No one knew what he meant. Not the guards, not the lawyers, not even the people he came here to expose. But they would, in the most shocking way imaginable. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss these dark, emotional, cinematic stories, because what you're about to witness will flip your idea of justice forever. The courtroom was already suffocating before the hearing even began. Reporters filled every corner like hungry shadows, their lenses waiting to swallow every twitch on Joker's pale face. Politicians sat stiffly in the front row, pretending confidence while their eyes flicked nervously toward him, the man who should have been broken, defeated, silenced. But the Joker didn't look like someone walking toward punishment. He looked like someone walking toward a stage. When the guards pushed him back again, harder this time, the thud echoed through the chamber. A few people flinched. Joker didn't. He only tilted his head as if admiring the architecture above him. Then he flashed the faintest smile. Not wide, not manic, just knowing. The judge cleared his throat. "Arthur Fleck," he began, voice trembling slightly. "You stand accused of orchestrating the Midtown vigilante murders, of manipulating public unrest, and—" Joker didn't wait for the list. He leaned forward, cuffs clinking. "Funny thing about accusations," he murmured, "they always come from the ones with the most to hide." A ripple moved through the room. Detective Rowan, the man who'd arrested him, shifted uncomfortably. He'd been hailed a hero when he dragged Joker out of a warehouse 2 nights ago. Cameras flashed, crowds cheered, and the mayor himself publicly thanked Rowan for saving the city from a monster. But Joker's eyes now kept drifting back to Rowan, not with hatred, but something more dangerous. Pity. The prosecutor stepped forward, desperate to regain control. "Your Honor, this man is manipulating the court. He's attempting to—" "Manipulation!" Joker laughed softly. "You haven't seen manipulation. Not yet." The judge slammed his hammer. "Enough." Silence fell. Dense, crushing. And then the doors at the back creaked open. Everyone turned, irritated at the interruption. A young woman entered, clutching a thick folder to her chest. She looked terrified. Her badge identified her as a junior legal assistant, someone who had no business being late, especially today. She hurried toward the prosecution table, but her hands were shaking so violently that a few papers slipped out and scattered across the floor. One landed right at Joker's feet. Joker stared at the page. A single eyebrow lifted. He bent down, slow enough for the guards to tense but not move. His eyes scanned the content in a single glance, and in an instant, his smile vanished, then slowly returned, much darker. The prosecutor grabbed the paper angrily. "This isn't yours." Joker looked up at him, voice oddly soft. "Oh, it's very much mine. In fact, you've all been using my name to hide your little secret for months." Murmurs. Cameras clicked. The judge leaned forward. "Mr. Fleck, explain yourself." Joker inhaled, savoring the moment like smoke from a long-lost cigarette. "You think I killed those men in Midtown?" he said. "Well, one of us in this room did." Detective Rowan stiffened. Not obviously, but enough for Joker to notice. Enough for the audience to sense something was wrong. "And here's the punchline," Joker continued, tapping his cuffed fingers on the table. The killer wasn't wearing makeup or a smile, just a badge. The courtroom erupted, shouts, gasps. A few people stood. The mayor turned pale. Reporters leaned forward like vultures sensing fresh blood. Rowan exploded from his seat. "He's lying! This man is a psychopath!" "Funny," Joker cut in coldly. "That's exactly what you said when your partner tried to expose you." Rowan froze, breath caught in his throat. Joker tilted his head. "Oh? You didn't tell them? You really should have. Secrets taste bitter when swallowed whole." The young legal assistant trembled harder, eyes darting between Rowan and the folder she still clutched. The judge demanded order, repeatedly, but the room had slipped beyond control. Joker leaned back, letting chaos unfold around him, watching it like a child watching fireworks. But then, unexpectedly, he spoke again, quietly, almost mournfully. "You know, I didn't come here to escape," he said. "I came to reveal the real joke, the cruel one, the one where justice is just a word people throw around when they want to feel clean." His eyes locked onto Rowan, and something shifted. The bravado in Rowan's stance cracked. His knuckles whitened. Sweat gathered at his hairline. "Sit down, detective," Joker whispered, "because today I'm not the one on trial." The judge slammed the hammer again. "This is outrageous. Mr. Fleck, unless you have evidence?" Joker grinned. "Oh, I brought evidence. I brought plenty." His gaze drifted toward the frightened assistant. "And she," he said, "brought the rest." Every head turned toward her. The girl froze, as if caught in a spotlight she never agreed to stand under. Tears welled in her eyes. She clutched the folder tighter, too tight, as if trying to stop it from revealing the truth inside. Rowan's voice was barely above a whisper. "Don't say anything." She flinched. And then, suddenly, she looked at the judge. "Your Honor," she said, voice cracking, I need protection because what's inside this folder, it proves..." The room held its breath. "It proves the Joker is telling the truth." Gasps, screams, cameras flashing non-stop. The prosecutor lunged toward her to snatch the folder, but he never reached her. Because at that exact moment, Joker stood up. Even with cuffs on, even with guards gripping his arms, he managed to rise with a calmness that chilled the entire courtroom. He looked directly at Rowan. "Time's up, detective." Before anyone understood what was happening, Rowan's hand darted inside his coat. Not for paperwork, for a gun. People screamed. Guards panicked. The judge dove behind his desk. And the Joker. The Joker simply closed his eyes, smiled, and whispered, "I knew you couldn't resist showing them who you really are." For a split second, the entire courtroom froze, as if time itself refused to move until someone else did first. Detective Rowan's hand trembled around the gun, his face twisted between fear, rage, and something even uglier, the realization that his lies were finally cornered. People closest to him ducked under benches. Others screamed and stumbled toward the exits. Security lunged, but Rowan fired a warning shot into the ceiling, sending plaster raining down like white snow. "No one moves!" he screamed, voice cracking under the weight of his unraveling world. "None of you know what's really happening." But Joker, he simply watched him with calm, steady eyes. The eyes of someone who had already seen this ending long before anyone else. "Rowan," Joker whispered almost gently, "put the toy away. You're embarrassing yourself." "Shut up!" Rowan snapped, the gun whipping toward Joker's head. "You think you're a hero? You're a disease? You twist people, break them, use them." Joker tilted his head, the faintest smile forming. "Funny, that's exactly how your partner described you before he vanished." The words hit Rowan like a knife. His face drained of blood. And from the corner of the courtroom, the young assistant, trembling, eyes soaked with terror, spoke through her sobs. I saw the internal reports, the missing evidence, the surveillance footage gaps. Detective Rowan was involved with the men who died in Midtown. He ordered the hits to cover up." Rowan fired another shot, silencing her scream. The bullet barely missed her shoulder, shattering the wooden railing behind her. Panic exploded. Guards rushed forward, trying to shield the assistant. Reporters crawled behind desks, frantically capturing every second. The judge hit the alarm, though his hands shook so badly the button vibrated under his palm. Rowan was losing control, not just of the situation, but of himself. He turned the gun back on Joker, voice trembling. "You're the reason everything fell apart. If you hadn't dug into my case..." Joker interrupted with a quiet laugh. "Oh, Rowan, I didn't dig. Your guilt was so loud I didn't have to." A vein pulsed violently at Rowan's temple. He stepped closer, pressing the barrel against Joker's forehead. "Stop smiling," he hissed. "You're going to die today." But Joker didn't flinch. Instead, he whispered, slow and precise, "If I die, everything in that folder goes public. Full report, full recordings, full confessions. I made sure of that before I walked into this room." Rowan froze. His grip loosened. His eyes widened with terror, not of Joker, but of truth. And that's when Joker leaned forward, so close Rowan could feel the coldness of his breath. "You see," he whispered, "I don't need to escape. I just need the truth to." Suddenly, one of the guards leapt forward, tackling Rowan. The gun went off, the shot echoing with a violent crack, but the bullet missed Joker and lodged into the courtroom wall. The room burst into motion. Officers swarmed Rowan, wrestling him to the ground as he screamed, "He planned this! He planned everything! He's the real criminal!" Joker watched him struggle like an animal caught in his own trap. His expression softened, not with sympathy, but with the bitter sadness of someone watching justice finally show its ugly, honest face. As Rowan was cuffed, the young assistant approached Joker cautiously. Her hands still shook, but now there was courage behind her tears. You knew I'd bring the evidence," she whispered. Joker smiled faintly. "No, I hoped. People surprise me sometimes." She hesitated. "Why tell the truth? You could have escaped. You could have..." "Chaos isn't about escaping," Joker said. "It's about exposing what people pretend not to see." The room slowly quieted. Medics tended to those injured in the chaos. Cameras zoomed in on Rowan's screaming, broken figure. The judge stared at Joker with an expression torn between fear and respect. Guards approached Joker, gripping his arms. "Let's go. Back to holding." Joker nodded, but before they moved him, he looked around the courtroom, at the crushed lies, the shattered masks, the exposed corruption. "Funny thing about justice," he murmured loud enough for everyone to hear, "it always arrives dressed like a villain before people realize it was the hero." They began escorting him out, but as he stepped toward the door, he spoke one last line. Soft, poetic, haunting. "Some truths clean the world, but they always leave blood on someone's hands." And then he disappeared through the back exit, swallowed by the dim corridor, leaving the courtroom stunned, broken, and forever changed. That day, headlines wouldn't read Joker captured. They would read something far more unsettling. "The man we called a monster just saved us from one." And deep down, the city would feel it. The uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the villain isn't the one wearing the smile. Sometimes he's the one wearing the badge. If you enjoyed this dark, emotional journey, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more cinematic stories like this.